Hi, you all. This is Tanya Taylor Rubenstein, the Global Story Coach, and I'm making this video at about midnight in my house in Santa Fe. And I was going to wait and do it tomorrow, but I've just had the word ringing through my head all day: generosity, generosity. It's a couple weeks before Christmas now. I'm just waiting for my daughter to come home from Boston from college and enjoy the season with her. And as I am launching this whole Global School of Story, which is my online program to teach those of you who are interested out there how to be a professional story coach, a huge part of what I'm reflecting upon as I'm creating this curriculum and whatnot is what makes a story-based business successful? What makes it lucrative? What makes it sustainable? What does it take to make not just a getting by income, but a six-figure plus income on, in this case, a story-based business, but I think this applies to all creative businesses. And it ties in with the word generosity. Because when I look back on my own life and career over the last 20 years, I see a lot of other talented people, some people certainly more talented than I am, who haven't been able to make a living doing the story coaching as I have. There's so many gifted people in the world, but it's not just about creative and artistic giftedness, though certainly in the program that I'm doing, S-School, I'm covering curriculum in all those facets will be covered, like what to do, how to work with businesses in terms of coaching them on brand stories, how to work with solo performers, with people creating a TED-style story-based talk. But when it comes down to being successful as a creative entrepreneur, it's a whole different story. And so in this series of videos I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be talking about what it really takes to run a successful creative business. And so coming back to generosity, first of all, I want to say that when I began this business, I had zero capital. I had gotten divorced from my daughter's father. I was living in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is not exactly the bastion of theater and solo performance work. It's a very creative place. It's a very spiritual place. But doing theater here, this is not New York. This is not LA. This is not close to even Chicago, San Francisco, San Diego, all kinds of places where there's a much bigger, thriving theater community, Portland, Seattle. It's ultimately a small town, but there's a line in the Course in Miracles that I love, and it is to have all, give all to all. And I think that can be misconstrued in a kind of codependent way. The ego can twist that. What that means to me and has meant to me in my business is to show up with a generous spirit, to really look to give to your clients before you receive. When things really shifted for me, and I did a project called the Cancer Monologue Project, and it was featured in Oprah's magazine and whatnot. And this is about 17 years or so ago, and became a book. I was going to do that project no matter what, whether I got, and I was a single mom. It wasn't like I could really afford to not get paid for anything. And as a matter of fact, the first small grant I got for the city of Santa Fe was for $2,000 for the whole project. Which took a lot of time and energy. But coming from a place of generosity of spirit, I'm clear that I want to do this. I'm inspired that I want to do this. I'm in service to this. And putting that attitude out to every person you meet in terms of potential clients, potential investors, organizations that want to hire you. First, coming from a generosity of spirit allows people to relax and feel safe with you. You're not first and foremost there to sell them something. And that's how we sell without selling. That's how we sell by attracting through our heartfelt presence. Because honestly, if you don't care about the organization that you're in service to, if you don't care about your potential clients, and you're just looking to close a deal, that's old paradigm, manipulative kind of selling strategy. And yes, of course, that's still out there, but that's not abundance. Abundance is the giving and the service and the love and the really wanting to share your offering and knowing it's of great value and receiving back from it. So, and I really see people, there's really, it's subtle sometimes and it's nuanced, but people can really read it. So it's a great practice to go inside and write on your relationship with generosity. Just write, where am I at in terms of generosity, and see what arises. Is there a natural ability and desire to give without fear, to be profoundly interested in your client's story, to not be watching the clock hour by hour, but to be invested in taking somebody all the way through to completion? That spirit has served me really well. And like I said, it's subtle and nuanced, but people really pick up on that. People can totally vibe out if they're first and foremost being sold something and you just want to seal the deal, or if you're really interested. What makes me joyful, what makes me high is seeing people complete lifelong dreams, whether it's starting a story-based business, whether it's writing their memoir with me and completing it, writing and performing a solo show, getting a story that they can put out to the world in their online business that really reflects who they are in a heartfelt way, that transcends the old business model. So I would really encourage you to write on your relationship with generosity and see what arises. And if there are blocks to it, it's great to see those on paper and then write about that. And write about, you can pose, I call it wisdom writing. You can pose questions to yourself, to your own inner being, to your own higher self, and say, how can I shift this part of me that is in fear, that is afraid that if I don't try to take something first, if I don't ensure my own well-being, that I'm going to get enough back, particularly when you're starting a business. I'm almost 20 years into my business. I have very clear set rates, and that, I am able to receive now and attract the right clients for them. But particularly when you're starting out, it is absolutely essential to be willing to do whatever it takes. And then there's a progression that happens as you develop in your work and you're able to manage you have to learn how to manage time. And, but even now and for the rest of my life, for the rest of my career, there's a devotion to that quote, be all, to receive all, to get all, give all to all. It doesn't mean literally your time giving every ounce of your energy away, because you're included in that all. So self-care and self-love and giving back to yourself, time and rejuvenation is in that. That's generosity of spirit to the self. But it's a holistic model. But in terms of sales, in terms of getting people to sign up for your work, it's really important to not only understand this concept, but apply it. All right, have a great night from Santa Fe. Bye-bye.